Hello, my front-end friend, and welcome back to having some fun with CSS. Here we are, and this isn't what we're going to be doing. This is where I'm starting with. I've been making this for a short. I'll put a link to it. It should be out before this video. I think no, it might not. I don't know. I'll put a link to this code anyway, so you can see it, which I think is fun. I love it. But I have a long video where I actually look at doing this in a bit more detail, so I'll link to that also in the description. But then I came across this on Dribble when looking for something completely different. But I noticed this glow effect on the top and bottom bar. And to me, like as you move along, the glow would follow the bar. And that had me wondering, can I do or use this technique that I used for this and use it to make that glow effect around here? And I think so, but I'm not entirely sure how to do it. And so, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And I did make a few small updates, and then I was like, you know what, I should bring people on this journey with me. So I haven't really made any changes. I still have the anchor name here and the anchor position set up. So the pink box is still following. The main thing that I did was make it a border instead of a background color, and I added the glow effect, or like a background color on the links. So when I hover on the links, they get a background. As far as the original effect, again, if you want to know a bit more about anchor positioning and how this is working, then you can check the link below where I got it up to that other point. And then then you can follow along again, or you can just get an idea of how this works and stay here. That's completely fine too. Watch both videos though, and all of them. Watch time, YouTube likes watch time. So anyway, like and subscribe and all that stuff while you're at it too, I guess, since we're in YouTuber mode. So yeah, anyway, we have this set up, and now what I want to do is not have it look like this. I'm not entirely sure what the best first step is. I think I actually need to take a bit more. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what change to make. So I want the border to be a gradient first of all, but I only want it on the top and the bottom. So let's, I guess, start with that. So right now my border is the 2 pixels on the top and the bottom. So let's change this to be a border of block start, which is the logical variant for the top. And we'll do a block end, which will give me the border on the bottom, border block end, not just end. That should give me a border block end is being highlighted for some reason. Border block end, that nothing is updating. Why is nothing updating? Refresh. There we go. That was weird. I'm pretty sure auto update is on. Anyway, so that's better. The other thing is I need it to shrink this way, but I don't want it to shrink this way, which is a problem because of how anchor positioning is working. I think I need the top and the bottom to be anchored to something different, because I can't use, if I could use position relative on this, that would be fine. But I can't, because that would break the anchor name working at this point. Would that? I think that would be an issue. So let's set things up more on the list instead of on the nav for the height of it. Let's just grab that UL. We'll say nav UL. Let's just do a border on there for now, 3 pixels, solid red, so I can see it. And then what do we want to do? So that's there. So I want these to line up with each other more or less, right? So I think I have padding UL. I'd put padding on the UL originally. Do I have I have padding on the nav and on the UL. Let's get rid of the nav padding and just put 2 padding on the UL. I'm not worried about the left and the right now. It's more the top and the bottom. Okay, so that's better. Then, okay, there, yeah, that's doing what I want. That after is lining up with it. So when I go like that, you can see. The only problem is I need, this is a Z index -1. Maybe we don't need that anymore. Let's take that Z index off. Now it's covered. Can I just do that with a pointer events none? Pointer events none. So it doesn't matter if it's on top, since it's just a visual thing anyway. Okay, so that's working there now. Now for the top and the bottom, I think let's call this one anchor name will be my nav ul, nav ul. And we can say that the top is the top of the nav ul, because you don't have to have it to the position here. The bottom will be the nav ul. So those shouldn't change. I don't remember if there's a comma here. That worked. Okay, hey, that's working. So we can't see it because let's change our colors, because pink and red just have zero contrast. This is my deep pink. And then the red. I don't actually want... Okay, so this border... So the same thing. We only want a border block start and end. And it's going to be like an HSL of 0% over 0.2 or something like that. Let's see what that looks like. We don't see it because it's underneath. Border block start. Oh, this should be 100%. I made black and then dropped the opacity on it. So there we go. That's the gray is coming in there, which is what I wanted. And then this would be my block end over here. And I'm just going to move my anchor name up to the top because I prefer that. So now, okay, this is actually working out better than I expected it to right away. This is awesome. Cool. I thought this would be harder to do. So now what I want is for the after to not have a background color on it. Where is the color coming from? That I stuck. Where's the pink? Oh, it's the border. Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, this is going to become transparent. And this, some of you watching this will know what I'm doing, and others, I've done this a lot lately with gradient border stuff. If you need a gradient border, you can use border images, but I find it much easier to do transparent borders and then set a background, which is going to be background shorthand on purpose here of a linear. We'll probably want a radial gradient. Maybe, okay, let's just do radial gradient for now of, let's just do white to red. Or we'll do our deep pink again. Deep pink would be sort of our theme for this one. Right, and then when I go, you can see the gradient is moving. I need this the other way around. So this should actually be deep white here, which will eventually be transparent, and deep pink. I guess this could be transparent from the start. Transparent. So that gives us that. And then you can see, maybe you get the idea. So we can see the gradient at the top bit. So that's working. But then what I want to do is only have it show in the area that would be this border. So to be able to do that, we need 2 layers. So I'm going to do another radial gradient here. And this one can be one color. I'm just going to, did I set a canvas color? This might not work. That might go to white. Or just break everything. Maybe you can't, red. Why is that not working at all? Oh, because I didn't spell gradient right. That would help. So that should give me a red, solid red on top. I don't want red. Can I do canvas? Again, I'm not sure. Canvas will take your background color, but it's using like the default background color, and I never set a color scheme here. I think it's a 111 that I used. Custom properties would be good here. Okay, so we're matching my background color now. This is a little, and then you can see it working. This is a little bit of like, you definitely want this to be a variable because it would always have to be the same of the color that's behind your nav, right? For this to actually work. Maybe there's another way to do this with masking as well. I feel like you could probably somehow mask this to be only the spots you want. That could potentially be safer, because then you wouldn't need this part. You could just have the gradient mask away everything except the strip along the top and the bottom. Yeah, that would be maybe let's get this working because I like this method for other stuff. So this would just be a 111. That's fine. But this one is my padding box. And then this one would be my border box. And there you go. You can see it there. And then when I hover on top of stuff, it follows that. Now the problem is it's not transparent, so maybe I did a Z index before, but Z index of -1 I think won't work because then it's going to go behind. Looks like it's working, but there's like this weird overlap with the existing border that's already on there. Let's just make this bigger. Interesting that that's working. I didn't think it would. I thought that would put it behind whatever is making... Did I do 3 pixels on the other border? I did. Okay, that's why it was weird. And then that worked. Okay, so we're almost there. Oh, it is behind. It's behind, but this has a lower opacity on it, so the color is already a little bit faded out. That actually kind of works, to be honest, because I wouldn't want it the full... I thought I was going to have to lower the opacity of it to begin with. I think what I actually am going to do, I don't really want it there all the time. We'll fix that after. The first thing I want to fix is making it the right size, because I think the glow should be a little bit bigger, because if it's glowing, it's going to spread a bit. So the left and the right here, we're actually going to do a calc. And we do both of these, calc. And the calc on both of them will say plus 10 pixels. And that should... Oh, whoops. Forgot to put a opening bracket right there. So that should that should be a minus on both of those. So that should, when I'm hovering, spread it out. I think we want more. Let's try like 40 pixels. There you go. So now you can see like we're stretching a little bit, which makes more sense for how that glow would actually be coming in and working. Yeah, I got lucky with this just being a lower opacity. That's kind of cool. And I think what I would actually do then here is just have this as an opacity of 0, the inset there, and an opacity at, we'll say like 300. We'll have it come in a bit faster. And that is good. This is on my nav itself. So I think we'd have to do a nav has a hover, comma, a focus. Sorry for the broken style and the flashbang there. With that, we can then say that we have the... Oh, and in that situation, the after would get an opacity of 1. And... Okay, that didn't work. This... I'm actually going to make longer because it's like the whole thing brightens up as it's shrinking down, which is kind of weird. So I think the only problem, the inset, it's working, like that works here. As that's shifting, it's kind of sliding around. I want this to actually be a lot faster. So I want it to slide as I go to one to the next. But I don't like the glow, and I'm not sure about it going out again. So when we go off, so I'm actually going to do here a transition delay of 300 milliseconds for the inset and 0 milliseconds for the opacity. And then this one will get a transition delay of 0 for everything. We'll be explicit. We'll do it for both. So the idea here is, and again, the custom properties are good here. So if you need to modify a value, these should match. So if this works properly, what I'm doing is we're having no delay if we're not hovering. So when I go out, there we go. So yeah, if I hover on, when I go off, the opacity goes away. Actually, it's working the way I want it to. I'm just thinking that maybe this should match this number to make sure. It looks exactly the same, I think, but that's the important one. So the idea is that when you hover on, there's no delay. So the inset sort of gets set. So if you're moving around, it's shifting quickly. The opacity is fine. When we leave, it's using this transition delay instead. So the inset is going to stay in the same place for 700 milliseconds. As the opacity drops down, then it's going to reset. So it doesn't do that weird thing where it spreads out the whole way. And then, yeah, that's looking pretty good. And then the idea, I guess, on this would be that those links would also have to have a box shadow. We'd probably use a similar, or no, not that one. Box shadow of, we'll use a 0, 0, 16 pixels of an OKLCH that is based on deep pink. So we need a from deep pink. LCH over 0.2 or something, just to drop the opacity on it. Except I don't, oh, it's there, but okay, let's make this 1 just so we can actually see this. Okay, okay. Of course, now it's always there. That looks terrible. It's a really bad shadow, by the way. We'll work on making that better. That shadow should only be here. The only problem is that will instantly turn the shadow on. There's we could even use a pseudo element on those to do a more performant one. This is going to be like a pretty big shadow, I think. That's better. I think that's more. And then this, we drop that down. So it's a bit more subtle. It's like a large but soft, very soft shadow. On the dark background, we need it to be bright enough to actually see it. But there we go. It's noticeably glowing. Not a lot. It's a subtle glow, but it's enough that it makes it look like it's reflecting a little bit on those other parts. I think that's pretty fun. I hope you think that's pretty fun too. And yeah, let me know what you think about that. Thank you very much for watching. A very big thank you to Johnny, who's my supporter of Awesome over on Patreon, as well as all my other patrons and channel members for their continued support. And of course, until next time, don't forget to make your corner of the internet just a little bit more awesome.